Torn apart by fame. The shocking rift between Jimmy Uso and Naomi. Once the shining example of love and loyalty in WWE. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we've got some truly surprising and heartwarming news from the WWE Universe. Now, two superstars find themselves divided by the very industry that brought them together. Jimmy Uso and Naomi, two names that fans once spoke of with admiration, respect, and hope. But behind the glitz of championship gold, pyro, and thunderous entrances, lies a heartbreaking truth. Their relationship is crumbling. And at the heart of the storm is the one thing that once united them, fame. This is the emotional, explosive, and ultimately tragic story of how the pressures of WWE, public life, and personal ambition tore Jimmy Uso and Naomi apart. From love to legacy, Jimmy Uso and Naomi's love story was born in the trenches of the WWE grind. Their chemistry was undeniable. While Jimmy represented the powerful Anoa family legacy, Naomi brought unmatched athleticism, charisma, and a glow that lit up arenas. Together, they weren't just a couple. They were a unit. Fans adored them. WWE promoted them as one of the most beloved real-life wrestling couples. They shared screen time, red carpets, interviews, and even reality TV, appearing on Total Divas where millions watched their relationship blossom. In the early years, everything seemed perfect. They supported one another's pushes. Jimmy, alongside Jay as the Usos, became the cornerstone of WWE's tag team division. Naomi captured the SmackDown Women's Championship and introduced the world to her Feel the Glow revolution. They cheered each other from ringside. They traveled together. And when one won gold, it felt like they both did. But behind the glowing lights and high fives, something darker was starting to brew. The rise of the Bloodline. The cracks started to show when Jimmy's role in WWE began to evolve and shift into chaos. Jey Uso was thrust into the spotlight as Roman Reigns' right-hand man, the emotional centerpiece of the Bloodline. Jimmy, however, returned from injury with something to prove, and a chip on his shoulder. While Jay's popularity soared, Jimmy struggled to define himself. Eventually, he turned on his brother, realigned again with Roman Reigns. His character arc became increasingly erratic. Fans didn't know where his loyalty stood. And in real life, neither did Naomi. Naomi, meanwhile, found herself lost in the shuffle. Despite her undeniable talent, WWE creative didn't seem to know what to do with her. She was given stop-start pushes and thrown into random tag teams. Frustration mounted. In private, Naomi began voicing her concerns about being overlooked. And when Sasha Banks walked out of WWE in protest over creative differences, Naomi walked with her. It was a bold stand, but a costly one. She vanished from TV. Her career momentum halted. Meanwhile, Jimmy remained in the spotlight with the Bloodline, his fame and screen time growing, even as hers diminished. And that imbalance started poisoning the foundation of their relationship. Divided by direction. According to sources close to the couple, tension at home mirrored their careers. Jimmy was fully embedded in WWE's main storyline. Naomi, still without a return date, was growing bitter. She began exploring outside opportunities, modeling, red carpet events, and brand partnerships. Jimmy, on the other hand, was focused solely on the Bloodline, constantly on the road, constantly in meetings with creative, and reportedly distancing himself from Naomi's world. Arguments began to erupt. Insiders claim Naomi asked Jimmy to stand with her publicly, to speak out on her treatment, to advocate for her return. But Jimmy declined. He said he needed to protect his own position in the Bloodline, especially with Roman and Paul Heyman becoming increasingly strict about distractions. One night, Naomi reportedly confronted him backstage at a WWE live event. "You were fine standing next to me when I was champion. But now that I'm sidelined, I'm invisible to you." Jimmy, according to witnesses, shot back. "You made your choice when you walked out. Don't blame me for staying in the game." The moment marked a turning point, a deep emotional rupture that wouldn't heal easily. Naomi's return and rise. In early 2025, Naomi made her long-awaited return to WWE. But this wasn't the same smiling, glowing Naomi. She returned with purpose, with fire, with vengeance. WWE leaned into her frustration, building a storyline where Naomi refused to play by the rules anymore. She was raw, aggressive, and more confident than ever. She cut passionate promos where reality bled into fiction. "I gave everything to this company. I stood beside my man while he climbed higher and higher. But when I needed him, he left me behind." Fans erupted. She wasn't just fighting her opponents, she was fighting the very system that abandoned her. And one man who watched silently from the sidelines was Jimmy Uso. The rift widens. The distance between Naomi and Jimmy was no longer just emotional, it became physical. Sources reported the couple began staying in separate hotels while on tour. Naomi traveled with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Jimmy traveled with Solo Sikoa and Heyman. Backstage, people noticed how cold their interactions had become. Naomi barely acknowledged Jimmy. Jimmy avoided her locker room entirely. Fans began speculating after Naomi and Jimmy were never seen together at the Hall of Fame ceremony. When Naomi posted her dress for the red carpet, Jimmy was nowhere to be seen. His own Instagram had turned into nothing but promos and workout reels. The love was fading, publicly. Then came the night that shocked everyone. The confrontation. After a taping of SmackDown, where Naomi defeated Nia Jax in a brutal main event, she was seen backstage visibly shaken. She had requested that Jimmy accompany her to the ring, something he refused. Naomi reportedly confronted him in the parking lot after the show. Voices were raised. Security was called. Multiple superstars looked on, including Bayley and Kevin Owens. And then came the now infamous line, "If I'm not enough for you anymore, go find someone who is." Those words, spoken in pain and fury, became the catalyst for everything that followed. Jimmy didn't respond. He simply got in the car and drove away, alone. Public reactions. The next day, wrestling Twitter was ablaze with speculation. Fans noticed Naomi and Jimmy had unfollowed each other. Old couples' photos were deleted. And cryptic tweets began to surface. Naomi posted a tweet that read, "Some people only love you when you're quiet." Jimmy posted a black and white photo of himself with the caption, "Pressure reveals who you are." Bianca Belair and Montez Ford unfollowed Jimmy. Paul Heyman made a comment in a backstage promo that set fans off. Some family members let their feelings get in the way. They lose focus. And focus is everything in this business. Whether it was kayfabe or real, the story was now fully alive, and the fans were hooked. Naomi breaks her silence. The most powerful moment came days later on WWE Raw, when Naomi took the mic. Standing in the center of the ring, surrounded by silence, she delivered what fans now call the most heartfelt promo of her career. "I loved you, Jimmy. I believed in you when no one else did. I supported you when they called you the weak link. I prayed for you when you were hurt. I held you down when the Bloodline tried to break you. But somewhere along the way, you stopped seeing me. I became a background character in your story. I don't need to be your wife on TV. I don't even need to be your friend backstage. But what I will be, is a champion. Because I don't need anyone to give me worth anymore." Tears welled in her eyes, but she never looked away from the camera. The arena was silent, then roared. Naomi had spoken her truth, and it echoed across the wrestling world. Where do they go from here? As of now, the relationship between Jimmy Uso and Naomi appears to be deeply fractured. There's talk of a mixed tag storyline brewing for SummerSlam, with Naomi possibly teaming with Montez Ford and Jimmy pairing with Jade Cargill. A match that would blend fiction and real emotion into something unforgettable. Others say Naomi may move to Raw permanently, breaking ties with SmackDown and the Bloodline altogether. WWE is reportedly investing heavily into Naomi as a top-tier solo star. As for Jimmy, he's expected to begin a darker singles run, possibly turning heel once again and severing ties with his brother Jay entirely. The couple who once ruled together, may now go to war. And yet, behind all the story